move to waive policy, we're getting the feedback, is that okay? It doesn't bother me.
I can,
Mr. Chairman, I move to waive policy 3.2, appointment procedures, advertising, to appoint members to the mobile home rent control board.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Mr. Neal, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Oh, I was going to do discussion.
Okay.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
this is no new motion to waive policy, is it?
right, yeah, I'm just explaining why we're going forward with this. The reason we're going forward, and I'm asking the board to do this, because everyone knows how I feel on waiving policy, we do have a situation where we have to have a rent control board meeting. We have a situation in one of the trailer home parks, and so that is why we are doing this. And if we do approve the 3 members, well, I'll get to that when we get down to that. That is the reason why we have to convene a rent control board, and we have not had any applicants at all after numerous publications looking for members.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move to place a nomination of the following names for appointment as members to the Mobile Home Rent Control Board for a term to expire December 31st, 2006. James DeCola, 6 Road Circle, Penny Richards, 15 Leland Road, Dan Solomon, 72 Marblehead Street, and I would ask that we do this on an aye vote because we're appointing all 3.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Vino, seconded by Mr. O'Leary.
Discussion?
Discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to publicly I want to thank all 3 members. I worked with these members before, and I want to thank them for coming forward to help us, willing to help us out in this situation. This shows what excellent members they were in the past. They did it for a number of years, and we all really do appreciate them coming forward to help us out with this situation.
Thank you. Any other comments, Mr. O'Leary?
Yeah, I was liaison for a number of years also with the rent control board, and they did a terrific job, particularly when it was first established, these 3 members. And really appreciate them stepping forward also and willing to address the situation. Thank you.
Mr.
Yeah, I know, I know that all 3 people, and they're terrific people. My question is though, is December 31st enough time?
For what we
For what they need?
believe for their task it is,
Yes.
yeah.
At which point in time we need to advertise and...
Which we have, yeah, we just don't have,
Yeah, we just haven't
we don't have any
responded,
takers yet.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous?
They just have to get sworn in, Joe, quickly, right?
Pardon?
They have to get sworn in quickly.
Yes, yeah, as a matter of fact, if you're listening, I'm signing your appointment sheets right now.
Mr. Chairman, we have a welcome our new secretary. Shelley, what was the last name?
The Roche.
Shelley DeRoche. The board welcomes Shelley DeRoche as our new recording secretary. So
Oh,
glad to
Charlene.
have... What?
Charlene.
Charlene, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Charlene?
We wish you a long term.
Right.
Thank you.
May you outlast all of us.
We really do appreciate you coming forward, joining our evening meetings.
You have another appointment, Mr. Chairman?
Another appointment.
Mr. Chairman, I move to place into nomination the following name for appointment as a member of the Fire Management Study Committee to fill an unexpired term through December 31st, 2006. Andrew Nichols, Union Representative.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Mr. Dino, seconded by Mr. Davidino. Discussion? This is a change, didn't they have someone else?
What they, if I may, Mr. Chair, what they had is they had a change in the presidents of the union.
Mhm.
And the former, the way the committee was set up was the president would be one of the union representatives, so the former president, Mr. Harris, stepped down, and Mr. Nichols took his place.
So I guess the question is, has he submitted a resignation?
Yes, he did. I was told he did.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Morris is abstaining.
Place study.
That just keeps it
Yep.
clean. Okay.
Yep.
Next motion. Special election. We're revoting this because I think all the board members were informed. I think I told everybody regarding the non-binding question.
Yep.
And then we've got then I asked for a legal opinion. I think that was also in your packet.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, just let me get it out.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I move to call a special town election for Tuesday, December 5th, 2006, and to place the following question on the ballot. Shall the town of North Reading be, excuse me, Mr. Chair, didn't we have one too? But first, Mr. Chairman, I move to rescind the vote taken
Oh, yes.
on October 16, 2006, to call a special town election on December 5th, 2006.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Mr. Vino, seconded by Mr. Giardino. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move to call a special town election for Tuesday, December 5th, 2006, and to place the following question on the ballot. Shall the town of North Reading be allowed to exempt from the provisions of Proposition 2.5, so-called, the amounts required to pay for the bond issued for the purpose of purchase of modular classrooms, including design specifications, installation, furnishings, and equipment for the middle school, and all costs incidental and related thereto.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Vino. Is that you, Steve? Second by Mr. O'Leary. Just a question. In this language, the amount doesn't have to be put, but there will be some exclamation with a vote.
Sure.
I mean, with a dollar figure,
Sure.
which would be matching the vote at town meeting. Because a lot of the voters weren't at town meeting, they know what the number is.
Right. Yeah, we have to just make sure that it don't merely offers information. I'll put something together.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to that.
Mr. Bellatonis.
If you refer to the colored copies that were in your packet tonight, they differ with the white ones again? There's some minor changes, and there's also some additional explanation that I want to go through. Just give me 1 second to catch up on those last votes, because we need to give notice to the town clerk tomorrow on your votes on the special election.
You plan on going through the calendar,
Yes, as a matter of fact,
which is, was in our packet.
sure. Let me just- The calendar, there are no changes, but what I'd like to do is, there was a version that was in your packet. The budget forms have gone out to, budget and capital forms for fiscal year 2008 have gone out to department heads at our monthly meeting, which took place last Wednesday. So they do have the forms, and they do have the directions. And the first couple of pages, the pinky colored sheet, the raspberry colored sheet are the instructions for the fiscal 08 operating budget, along with the instructions for submission of the 5-year capital improvement program update, and also a request for them to provide their submittals for the fiscal year 2008 capital budget. So those forms have gone out to department heads. By way of explanation, the forms are similar in terms of that they are requesting
departments had submitted last year, so there should be no secrets. The good news is that all of the budget forms this year have been changed to Excel. In the past, they've all been done as part of one of the other programs that we used to have that no one uses anymore for spreadsheets, and now all of the documents are Excel-based. We've asked departments to submit a level services budget and also a budget for additional requests. So the first budget is a maintenance budget, and that would include no changes in personnel, staffing, or hours. And the second budget that they've been asked to submit would include any additional requests that are above a level service or maintenance budget. All the forms have gone with it. The request of department heads is to return those documents back to the finance department by November 8th. And that is the essence of the instructions that you see here. I just also want to cover the capital budget, which will be the second page of the pink sheets. We're asking departments, again, not only to submit their own capital budget, but also for them to prepare their 5-year capital improvement program. Again, the documents are due into the finance department by Wednesday, November 8th. Done is included, clarified the definition for a capital project, and the capital projects are generally those which cost more than $10,000 and have a useful life of more than 5 years. There's a detailed capital explanation if you turn over the sheet, which provides departments with some additional detail on what we consider capital to be. You'll see that there are different dollar thresholds depending upon what the particular request is for. Now, these are our definitions, just in case you're wondering where they came from. These are definitions that had been instituted a number of years ago and were part of the capital planning process that the towns used prior to myself and the present finance director coming on board. The one change that we have included in here is we've asked that all departments requesting any type of computer or technology equipment, including laptops, hardware, and software, submitted as part of a capital request. All of those capital requests for computer equipment will be aggregated together into a single package and submitted as a single package. So there won't be a bunch of different capital requests that appear on the April town meeting warrant. And again, the definitions are consistent with what has been done in the past. Similarly, the evaluation criteria that were that I presented prior to the October town meeting, those definitions, again, were taken from the previous standards that were established by the finance department and the town administrator. What we've done is we've included them here so that the departments will have an understanding of how their capital projects will be ranked. So those are the budget documents that I've gone out along with all of the forms. You do not have a copy of the forms, but if you care to review them, I have them here. And again, they're all due back in by the 8th of November. Prior to the 8th of November, at your next week's meeting, getting back to the calendar, the annual tax classification hearing, public hearing to determine the distribution of the town's tax levy will be held on Monday, November 6th, and that would be for fiscal year 2007. The preliminary budget presentation I will make to the Board of Selectmen on November 20th, and that'll be a general sense of the aggregate total of all of the requests versus what we anticipate having available for revenues. There'll be no detail provided in terms of any potential cuts, reductions, recommendations, additions, or deletions. We're still very early in the process. The town administrator and the finance director will commence budget review meetings with department heads, and will complete them by